All right, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. I am Darkpool Algo, and guess what? It's January 3rd, 2021. Today is Monday, and it's the first week of the year. So I thought about putting on some Bone Thugs and Harmony with the first of the month, but guess what? They don't have a first of the year song. So hope everybody's doing well. I got to turn this light down a little bit. It's a little too early in the morning for that bright of a light on my eyeballs. Definitely would hurt quite a bit. So you may notice some things are a little different. I moved the command center around over the weekend. I'm working on, like I said, the goal for this year is that production quality. I'm going to go ahead and get a cardboard cutout of the YouTube 10,000 subscriber plaque that they send you, and I'm going to put it right behind me as a goal to get to. That is the goal for the first quarter. I know it's a pretty lofty goal, but we should be able to do it. All right. I just want to do a quick audio check and see how things are going. Move this down here. All right. So I understand that it's a little early and people, may not be ready to go right away, but guess what? It is time to get back to work. Okay. It's time to work. So until somebody, morning, Johnny, I was about to say, until somebody shows up, I was going to slap y'all with the intro and make you sit there and watch it. Okay. So, hey, how's the audio? Is the audio good? Because I got this mic that's just going to continue to rise. You're going to hate this. Sorry. No. I got this boom. This boom arm from Yeti, right? And unfortunately, it doesn't like to stay put. Like, doesn't have enough weight on it. So let me go 1 second. I gotta go grab something to weight that down. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. You want to know what actually works best for this thing is throwing my wallet on it. It keeps it at the right weight. It's just, yeah. So, a few struggles with the sound quality this weekend. Other than that, things look pretty decent. Totally rearranged the command center. Some wall stuff behind me. Gonna be working on that. Gonna be working on putting out some videos every day and getting the production just taken care of. I know that's the goal for this year. Where are we at? Here? Is that what we're looking at today? All right, let's get into it. I'm missing something. What am I missing? What am I missing, y'all? What am I missing? Futures. That's right. That's futures. Not sure what that is, but all right, here we go. Let's see. I know that Tesla had some delivery numbers news that's causing things to rip. The only concern I have is that everything takes off without us, right? Remember, we've been learning about the gap fade, right? The other thing is we will start trading off of the 30-minute chart if we're going to be doing this week's entries. I know it's a little slow, but if we're going to go 7 to 14 days on our options entries, we got to we got to look at it from a little bit larger time frame. Just because we are going to be working on some potential $500 challenges. One of those is through the Robinhood account or Moomoo or anything that's just a standardized. Just pretend like you're a beginner trader and you have $500 in your account and you want to make some money off of it, right? You can only do 3 trades in a 5-day period, and we don't want to, we really want to, put ourselves in that beginning state of mind. So, all right, so here's the ES 30-minute chart. Rally, 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 right? It does look pretty decent. I've got some numbers. 4,800 is obviously the target. It's a pretty decent move here, right? So if we can get a pullback in the next hour or so, hour and a half, right? Maybe let's look at the 15-minute chart. All right, this continued pullback to previous support, right? I don't know, I've got this demand zone here, right? That one's still probably pretty valid, right? I'd like to come back down in here, maybe test here opening right around 47.76. That gives us enough room to move up throughout the day. Contrarian, if we open, if we open too high, then I think we get a lot of profit taking and the gap fade. Now, the other option also is that we just gap and rally. I mean, just just completely rip faces. So there will be some, I mean, look at this. So remember, I like animal patterns. What do I see? I see a giant seahorses. So I'm a little sketched. Okay, I'm going to be cautious, and I'm also going to look at the downside of things, and unless that seahorse becomes something else. Okay, let's get into the news. We have a little bit of news today, and I need a drink first. Alrighty. Hope everybody's New Year's was great. Mine was good. My son had his birthday. He turned 11. 11 years old, man. He's going to be such a cool dude when he grows up. I'm telling you that now. You heard it here first. His name is Raiden, and he's just a really cool kid. All right. Two things. If you have requests, get them to me now. Let me find, where did I put my chat box? Chat box over here. We need to get these suckers up over here, and there we go. All right. We have a bunch of news. I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. I want to use magic celts for if we have to look at any tickers. Okay. Verizon, AT&T have some news. I just got a notification. AT&T announced a dividend about 53 cents per share. That's pretty dang good. That's why AT&T is one of the highest dividend reinvestment stocks out there. However, they're not looking so good. AT&T and Verizon Communication refused a request by U.S. Transportation Secretary to delay the start of its 5G C-band launch this week. Wireless companies instead offered to adopt the same C-band radio exclusion zones that they already had in France for a 6-month period. Okay, that's where Transportation Secretary asked to delay the service schedule was to start by 2 weeks. He said failure to reach a solution by the 5th will force the U.S. aviation sector to take steps to protect the safety of the traveling public, particularly during periods of low visibility or inclement weather. That's interesting. What's going on with that? AT&T like that news? I'm sure. I mean, everything's up today. Like, everything is going to be up. So what I want to do is I want to see, maybe this is going to be tough. So let's go over our rules. We don't chase, right? If we're playing momentum plays, we're going to play it off the 30-minute. If we're going to scalp, we're going to play it off the 5-minute. We're going to get in and we're going to get out. We're not going to get greedy. Okay. We are working on building up our account. I just got a little email saying Zillow is the trade of the week. Why would I trade Zillow? Yeah, I would. No, I'm not trading Zillow. Okay. Ovid Therapeutics said it's entered an exclusive license agreement with the Astrazeneca for a library of early small stage molecules targeting some transporters, including one of its lead ones. There's your penny stock play. See how we're smacked into the 200. The play for this is above 340 to 350, 360, 365. Expect rejection at 370. If it gaps up above 370, I wouldn't play it much longer. What was that? Astrazeneca? Sorry, I gotta keep moving the dang mic. So I promise I'll get that worked out so you don't keep hearing that boom, 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 boom. I'll warn you next time. Astrazeneca off of that news is trapped between the 4-hour and the daily top, right? Stack positive moving averages. Maybe get a little retracement slingshot squeeze, double green across the board, right? Looks pretty decent. Yeah, come on. Falling wedge breakout. Yeah. All right, so Astrazeneca above 58.50 for move to 59. Above 59. Above 59, I think it's pretty woody. Look at that. It's got room. So above 59, 59.50, 62.02. Those are the targets for AstraZeneca. Belgium. So Belgium has agreed to buy 10,000 courses of the antiviral oral treatments developed by Pfizer and Merck. All right, so I heard that there's some very dangerous interactions with the oral version of the virus killer. So Merrick, really it needs to get above, let's just say above 78, 79.50, target 1. Target 2 would be 83.22, and target 3 would be 85. Okay, it's got some room to move. It's got news. It's got some compression squeezes. What I hate to see it do is just continue. Well, it's flagging, cup and handle. This could be a pretty decent play if you want to grab a quick couple dollars off of it. MRK. Let's put that on the list to look up for any sort of divergence. And then Pfizer, simply play off of that. Pfizer hopefully will get rallying again, right? Nice little pullback, smacked into the top of the 4-hour. Can't get above the daily. Can't get above the top of these Celts, right? Looks like 59.60-isk area. Neck hurts. Yeah, so it did break out its overhead resistance, right? Everybody played this stock almost to death a couple weeks ago. So what I'd like to see is it reject the 4-hour top, come back to the 4-hour bottom at 57.50, right? And then make the move back up towards 60, 61, 62. Remember, it's the beginning of the year. We've got an entire year for stuff to move. So let's not get, I don't know. I'm just saying exercise caution. Walgreens Boot Alliance said it received a takeover letter from a private equity firm, Bain Capital, for its Boots drugstore chain in the UK. Bain Capital offered to buy the UK chain 2 months ago, according to Times, in London, and Boots owns 25% of its stores, and the chain may be valued at about $8.1 billion. This is a pretty decent move for Walgreens. It is currently resting at the top of the 4-hour cloud. If it can get above 52.31, 52.50 is incoming, and then possibly 52.92. It's pretty extended. It does have earnings coming up. So there's earnings next week. This week. It's got earnings this week. Do we rally into earnings or do we fade? So let's watch Walgreens for a move after earnings. Okay, I'm just making notes since none of you guys are. I'm just kidding. Oh, dude, you got to check out these notebooks that the homie Laz hooked me up with. Right, or check it out. I got this one. This one. Right. I got this one. Yeah, and then I've got this watch this one too. Pretty cool. Got lots of old school. I like to write stuff down. Okay. All right. No real news in financials, which is interesting. We should start getting some financial news this week. However, in the EV market, things are ripping. Okay, all led by the Tesseract, and it's 7% gap up overnight. Right, 1062 to 1138, smacked into 1140. So if it can get out of the top of these 4-hour clouds here, if it can take out pre-market HOD, right, then I think it's got. Remember, I said Tesla was set up for maybe that longer move. Well, there it is. Let me grab this over here and let's just move everything over appropriately. Right. 1242 is the target. Above that, 1423. It starts to get like this third leg could be very, very important for Tesla. So what do we have going on? We've got quite a few things. Ready? Possible minor slingshot squeeze, right? On the daily. Ready, aim, fire, mid thrust buy on the daily, right? Double green. Probably have some stack positive moving averages. Tesla is, as Tesla does, right? Above the 50. Not sure where the 200 is yet, but Tesla's above the 50. Stack positive moving averages. It's just been beast mode. Okay. Is there going to be some profit taking? Possibly. If so, 1100. Those 1100 puts look really good for this week. If it breaks back down into the 4 hour, so it gap fills, right? So if it pulls back and fills the gap from 1100 down to 1075, right? If it fills that gap, woohoo, it could be a glorious pullback and then rally. Like I said, it's leading the way for all of the other EVs. NIO said its delivery numbers are at 10,000 in December, 25,000 vehicles in the fourth quarter. Pretty decent numbers, right? This is a 1-2. This is a big move. So I'm actually going to be looking at NIO 35s. Let's write that down as well. NIO can move. It's good. It's really liquid too. All right. XPEV, XPeng, XPEV. Am I doing time? Doing all right. Another one, gap up, pull back. This one's got a little bit more overhead resistance, right? So 1, 2, 3, or is it gonna be 1, 2, 3? So it gapped up into the weekly cloud, right? It's a little red doji right there, that trend killer sword thing, right? If 5144, if this level of support breaks, right? Let's just say right. If that breaks, we gap fill back down to 50, bounce play off of 50, which would be the daily bottom for our top. So one pullback, use that daily bottom for our top as support, that $50 support level. It's psychological, right? And then play it back up towards 55. Okay. I like that XPEV. XPEV. All right, and then LI, which is the next one, right? Same kind of deal. 1, 2, 3. It's definitely got the daily top at 33.50 incoming. Possibly 35 is the price target. Okay. Armstrong Flooring, AFI. Shares are jumping after the company announced late Friday it's retained a company to assist in the process of the sale of the company with the consideration of other strategic alternatives. This is sad, right? Look at that. Oh, we gapped up to 340, and we sold back off to $2. Like, this was down in the dollars. And then whenever Tesla, I think that's it for the sectors. As far as, I'll get another look at these here. So dailies, the dilly dally dailies. Look at that pullback, almost to my trend line perfectly. Okay. In world news, Eurozone December manufacturing PMI final in line at 58. German missed at 57.4. French beat at 55.6, and Italian beat at 62. So their PMI PMI numbers came out, which is good. I think that should help us with some international trade news. What's going on here? All right, and then Turkey's annual inflation soared to its highest in 19 years as consumer prices rose 36%, outstripping a median forecast at 30.6. With staples, hold on, you're gonna hear a bang or a thud, possibly. I gotta figure it out, man. It's driving me bonkers. 36%. All right, 1 second. Yeah, I gotta move that around. It's gonna drive me bonkers. 36% annual inflation. That's crazy. It's saying that staples such as transportation, food, and drink had a forecast at 30%, so they're missed by 6%, which took increasing shares of Turkey households' incomes during 2021, rising even faster. So Turkey's inflation is out, just sketchy. Okay, we do have some events today. PMI for December, market manufacturing for December at 945, construction spending month over month, and then China manufacturing PMI should be coming out today. Let's keep an eye out for those headlines as well. Hopefully we can continue to beat the yen down, which would be great. I need the gold to come back. So gold was looking like it was forming a head and shoulders, but it failed to continue to the downside. This looks like kind of a reversal play on gold. It is coming up to its previous resistance. All right. And then finally, let's get this last little bit of news out of the way and we will get to it. In Asian markets. First time in history news. All right, U.S. stock markets are kicking off the new year strong. Yep. Rebounding following modest losses in the final few days of last year. As investors look to put money back to work after solid overall returns for 2021. For the month of December, the S&P rose 4.3%, Dow added 5.8%, NASDAQ up 0.69%, S&P rose 10%, the Dow added 7.3%, and the NASDAQ added 8% for the quarter. Finally, for the year, the S&P was up 26%. You could have just thrown all your money into the S&P at the beginning of the year, and you would be 26% richer now. And for the first time in history, or the first time in its history, all of the sectors of the S&P almost posted double-digit gains in 2021, led by energy, as crude posted a 55% gain and the best annual return since 2009. Gold prices slipped from a 6-week high above $18.27 an ounce as higher bond yields and rallying equities weighed on the metal's safe haven appeal. Well, people who bought gold didn't know about crypto, did they? Nope, they didn't. The Asian markets, the Nikkei index remained closed. So sad. Shanghai was closed and the Hang Seng dropped about 0.5%. Europe, the DAX is up over 150 points or nearly 1% to move above the 16,000 level. The FTSE was closed. So there's not a lot of international markets going on. So we may get all of that money coming into us as well. All right. Real quick, let's check out those futures and we'll see what's up with the day. Okay. So we got a nice little rally pullback. This is the beginning of another bullish uptrend. If I wanted to look at a potential target level, we've got, so if we get above, oh, I gotta get the right one. There we go. That makes more sense. All right. So we rally, consolidate, pull back to support, and then make our additional move to the upside. Targeting 4,800 on the S for the ES is pretty well within reach. Let's look at some longer term stuff for now that we know that we've got a new year coming up. On the daily chart, looks pretty decent. If we break 4,800, 4,875 is my next 127 target from this rally here that we're currently in. So if I feel like my numbers are off, I think I need to go from here. Let's just throw another fib on it, shall we? Let's do this. Never hurts to pull out the weekly chart sometimes. Never hurts to pull out the weekly chart sometimes. All right, so 1, 2, 3 bars, right? 3 green bars. See this rally, pullback, rally. The daily's kind of setting up like this, right? So 4,900 could very easily come into play by where's 45? 45. 4,900 could come into play by February, maybe. I think that's pretty reasonable. Really just would be super interested on getting in above previous highs, right? I need to mark that up. Mark it up. Mark it up. There it is. 47.99.75. That's the ticket, misters. Those were the tickets. Right, gotta get above that. I mean, overall, it's setting up to be a pretty bullish move. Downside risk is obviously the lows from last week. Or potentially yeah, there's your move. Upside, downside, highs, lows. Get above. We're trading in a really pretty, looks like a pretty weak supply zone right now. Okay, that's the ES. Checking out the NQ. Come on, NQ. Yeah, we're getting that pullback this morning that we're thinking about. All right, so I think all of our levels are still pretty valid. We did start to get that recovery. If this is the 1, 2, right? If it's 3, this 3 should be at least twice as long as the 1. Okay, so if I got to extend that out, that's got to come way out here, right? So the 1 was $60. Ooh, that's a little sketch, to be honest with you. And the reason I say that is because if you look at the deviations, right? We went from -1 deviation to the mean, right? I think it's funny that we closed pretty much on the mean, right? This is not ATR mean. This is the trajectory of the stock. Okay, it's where they create. I don't know. I don't want to get into too much of it. It's the base level for an equity, right, or a stock, or yeah. Let's just call it that. So we've got the baseline, and the stock moves like a ping pong ball, usually within 1 standard deviation. A healthy stock will move within 1 standard deviation, positive to negative, right back to the mean. Currently, we're trading at the mean. 1 standard deviation puts us up at 17. 17. 17,200, right? And then if we get a pullback, we'll probably pull back to, 15,750. But if we went strictly Elliott wave theory, then this would be what this move looks like. Unfortunately, and that's a pretty significant move, right? Trading at 2.5 standard deviations. I just don't see it happening. I do see one deviation happening for sure, right? I think that's pretty accurate representation of our move. If we break though, we can come down to 15,750. Like if we continue to move down, 15,750 is incoming. If we rally up, we've got 17,250. Okay, that's the NQ. And what else we got? We got the old Dow. The old Dow. Nice recovery, right? Rally, pullback. Nice little doji candle. Now we're going to continue to try to make new highs. So with the Dow, like I said, remember that lesson we just talked about the mean. I like my 1414 target on the Dow at 37,380. Incoming probably maybe by January 19th. Okay, that's the Dow. And moving on to what's next, Russell. If you checked out the weekend watch list, you know that I'm super bearish on IWM going into this week, and that's because guess what? You should be. There's a massive amount of money flowing out of IWM. Okay, so on the Russell, we did get that nice little pullback to this level here. We rallied up, couldn't break. Overhead resistance, pulled back. Now we're taking our third attempt at it. So I've got an alert set at 27 or 22,794 to go off. See if we actually revert to this mean at 2,300, and then about 2,300, I think we see a move back up towards, I don't know, 2420. See how it's pretty rare for a stock to actually trade 3 deviations away from the mean, right? That was a massive rally, and of course, there's a reaction, so it had to rebound just as much. All right, that's the old Russell. All right, so what did I do there? What did I do there? All right, let's bring this back down to the old 10-minute chart here. Yeah, see, there's that move that I want to see. I want to see this continue to pull back to support. If this pulls back to support, then I think we get a pretty decent move throughout the day. Gold is obviously failing, right? Crude is pulling back as well. It gap filled, and bonds are continuing to sell off. The yen, however, nice little doji's formed. I don't know what's going on with the yen. I'd like to see it move down a little bit further. The YM pulled right back to support. The Russell's got more room to 2255. ES has got room all the way down to about 4780, and NQ 415. Oh, I think that looks pretty decent. Okay, let's get into the plays real quick. I think 2 minutes a little slow. All right. So what I'm going to do is do I think it's a bull trap for the market as a whole? I think that there would need to be a catalyst to really bring us all down. There's definitely going to be some sector rotation happening. Look at IWM, for example. So the new algorithm has been built specifically to remove these type of fraudulent spikes in the algo. And we got a massive one going into the end of last year. If you want to look at it on the regular algorithm, the new one, right? Possibly, right? That's a pretty significant drop. Trading like all this divergence that's played out. Now it's just yanking price action down with it. If it breaks below its current support level here, right here, then I think it can really do some damage. Okay. I'm going to take a 3-minute break real quick to go get some water, and we'll be right back. Get your plays in. Let me know, do y'all want to look at the futures, or do you want me to slap on the 4-chart layout and throw on those plays that everybody's interested in, like AMD, Yeti, Lucid, Firm? Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I got everybody who requested something, at least they can look at it. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Terry. Morning, Laz. Morning, JK. And Killa. Morning. Okay, so Yeti for Johnny, AMD Johnny, AMD JK. Pen for this month or Twitter? There's pen. LYV? What's LYV? Oh, Live Nation? Live Nation, Twitter. All right, so Yeti, AMD, Lucid, and Pen. I'm going to take a real quick break. I will be right back. Oh, you know what else I figured out? I think I have auto record set on my Streamlabs, and if that's the case, I'll be mad. I'll put recording. On. I need to look and see. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not set to record automatically. All right. How's the stream health been today? It looks like I made some changes over the weekend to Streamlabs. Well, I mean, like it should be pretty good, right? There's LYD. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me know if the stream's been good quality instead of dropped frames or laggy. It should be decent. If so, I'm gonna be super happy about that. All right, I'll be right back. Give me let's do a 5-minute break, and I will be right back. Don't you hear what I'm doing? right. I'm back. Mic check. Mic check. Me check. Me check. You know what that means? You know what it means. All right, let's get into this, shall we? Can y'all hear me? All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you all a second to capture this. Make it bigger so everybody can see. I went through and looked at some stuff this morning. These are the levels that I have for stuff. These are not beast numbers. Those are just price action levels. Okay. So about another minute, and I'm going to pull that. I'm going to pull that off. So if you need to screenshot it, you can. I'm also going to post this in the chat. Oh, sorry. In my chat, which is here. Options, and then you'll want the news. Let's get into some sector news, shall we? And it's there. All right, so I just posted the morning briefing as well as this in the group. If you don't have access to the group, let me know. I'm sure somebody in here has an invite link. We'll get you going. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this back to the 4 chart layout and quickly run through what we're looking at on your screen. Man, that thing is just annoying me. It just keeps moving up. Sorry, I'm gonna get another little bounce. I can't crank it down anymore. I'm gonna snap this arm off. Snap it off, and it's gonna irritate me. Sorry. Just need a little bit more weight on it. Don't know what I can put on it that's gonna stay there. My pen? I have heavy pens. All right, that should keep it down. Nope. Oh well. Okay, so what you're looking in front of you right now is the smart money, dark pool, and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. It has an algo that is built called the Flow Index Algo. It tracks large institutions, hedge funds, smart money transactions. Okay, so if you're looking at Yeti right now, if you'll notice that there was some previous divergence that had played out where, so if price action is above the purple line, which is the flow index algo, price action will come back down to meet the algo and complete that divergence. So on Yeti, what we have is we've got bullish divergence where smart money has been buying into Yeti since the beginning of December, right? Price action fell off in December. Towards the middle of December, it rebounded and it's trying to make its way back up. Currently, we've got a little bit of overhead resistance, right, that it broke out of last week and back tested. And this was kind of a longer term, a little falling wedge, right? Meanwhile, while that was happening, the algo was making its own trendline support, and right, it broke above its previous high and it's double back tested it now. So it should see a little bit of a rip on it. Well, let's see what that looks like on the charts, shall we? And I think I want to use this guy for that. And the reason I like to use this chart, it gives me a 15-minute and a daily view. And I got my, look, I got my stuff back. I don't know how they did it, but man, I'm happy. They came back with all these pre-built, right, these pre-built tools that I made, right? And there's your overhead resistance. It broke it, came back. See what I'm saying? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? So Yeti, yeah, I'm bullish on it. We've got Algo divergence, right? The Algo's been net buying. We've got stack positive moving average is 821.34. We've got a little bit of a MACD golden cross happening and slingshot squeeze MACD crossover on the daily, right? We're currently trading at -1 ATR. We want to revert back to VWAP, 21 EMA, and previous highs. So 85. Right, that's a pretty significant, pretty easy to achieve price target for Yeti. However, we got to get above this 83.50 level that's been kind of causing us some problems. Right. Let's use this one here. Right. So that 83.55 level, above that, and I think we move back up towards 85, right? The options chain for Yeti, I gotta not forget to do this, right? This is Yeti on the daily, right? If it can get above, like I said, if it can take out 83.50, it can move up to 85.62. 88, 90 psychological level. It's going to magnet up towards this 200 SMA. We can get this 50-200 bounce, slingshot squeeze, getting ready to release, like super bullish, right? Come on, Yeti. As far as options chain goes, like I said, those 85s for this week, yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. I'd be willing to look at the 86s for maybe 25 to 50 cents. If you wanted to get a little bit closer to the money, these 83s, they're not super liquid, but on any pullback, I think that those guys would give you an opportunity to get in and make a couple bucks. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for Yeti. And like I said, it's really conditional upon that break at 83.55. They're pretty super cheap options. Is it going to be a challenge play? I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. But it may very well be our first $500 challenge play. Okay, moving on. What else do we got here? Let me see. Making sure. Okay, checking the chat real quick. What are the bread and butter tickers? The bread and butter tickers are AMD, Roblox, Nvidia, Moderna, Tesla, and SPY. Okay, those are the tickers that we're going to look at every week. We're going to get super familiar with them throughout the year so that we can trade them. Okay, just like with Lucid. I'm Lucid's, and I used to trade NEO all the time, right? Just like got really familiar with how that stock moved and was fun. Okay, so let me run through those requests real quick, and then we'll get into the bread and butter list. So Live Nation, LYB, currently has got bearish divergence that should be trading out soon. Okay, I think that we get a little bit of a pullback, right? Possible pullback to previous support. I don't know if it's going to come fill this gap, but the algo and price action diverge at about 115, right? Currently got overhead resistance, kind of a rounding top, and the algo is coming up to meet it. So that divergence has to play out, right? So if we break $118.69, we've got divergence all the way down here at 115.25, right? Right, is that divergence going to be played out when the algo hits this level? Possibly. So maybe a little pullback or an exaggerated one. So below 118, below 118.50 on Live Nation, I think we get a pullback to 115, 116 level, taking profits at every dollar, right? So that would be break a 118.50, 117.50, 116.50, back to 115.50. Stair step down. Okay. Excuse me. Lucid mode, it's just the algos trading with price action. There's no real divergence to speak of, right? There's a little bit of a gap that may need to be filled, but with those, with all of the EVs busting out with the news, right? I think that it may just reverse off of this trend line support and start making a move back up. With LI, we've got some pretty significant levels. The $39 is going to be one of those. So 39.25, 40.25, right? And then obviously it wants to move back up here to 42.25. So there's the moves up. The algo is kind of maintaining its trend line support. If it bounces there, it can pull Lucid back up. Contrarian, if it breaks, then I think we have a downside move to fill this gap down to 37 before we actually start making a higher move up, right? And then on Penn, so all the divergences have played out. The algo they've been buying into Penn since about the 28th, right? If the algo is coming up to a previous support zone here, right? If the algo can break above that and price action bounce off of it instead of using this longer term trend line, if it can use this newer one that it just formed, basically where that first line is, then I think we can get a pretty decent move on Penn. As far as block trades are concerned, none in the last 5 days. In the last 15, we've got a regular dark pool level at 51.50 that came in on the 22nd, which is way back here, right? Below that 51, below that 50. So that would be your downside target, or 50.50. Most of these blocks have already traded out, but you can use those as previous support and resistances. All right, Penn, it really struggles at this $50, $55 level, or $50, $51 level. Looking at Penn here, right? Inverse head and shoulders. Whoever called that out, great call on the daily. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If it can break out above this stupid supply zone that it's in, it's just been having struggles with, right? Right. I think, let me see. Supply zone is right here. So it's in that supply zone, trading at positive 1 ATR, like really 56, the 200 to be my target. So 56.28. As long as it can continue uptrending, stack positive moving averages, slingshot squeeze, long term, ready to fire off, right? This thing's getting ready to rock and roll, but it's got to get out of its own way. And I think 52.50 is going to be that line in the sand that I want to see it break and hold. So if it can take out, geez, it's not making it easy on itself, is it? So it gapped up, right? So either gap fades to 51.83 at open and then rallies, or it just gaps and goes. So we got to keep an eye on it. That's Penn. Lucid. Let's do Lucid real quick. All right, Lucid gapped up. It's got the 50 at 38.50. Right, so right, there's a gap there. Potential gap fill down to 38.25, right? So if it breaks 38.50, it comes down, tests 38.19, right? Hold on. Or 38.14, and then bounces off of there. It is trading right at the 21 EMA, below the 50, below VWAP. 4150 is the target on Lucid, right? That's the upside target right there. If we can get up to that, then we can test some of this previous week VWAP levels. MACD, Golden Cross getting ready to happen. Slingshot Squeeze getting ready to happen. EV numbers. The sector is going to be rip roaring today. So hopefully it's not the lagger, right? You want me to add Roku? I don't know. I just got rid of Netflix because, yeah, I just want to be a little bit more balanced. All right, let me get back up here. Johnny, are you? Let's look at AMD. AMD is on the bed, is on our focus list. Hold on, AMD. Affirm. Let me look at Affirm real quick. Is there a Twitter request? Yeah, so Dior, Neo, SE, AMD, all catching some bids right now. Actually, the entire EV market is probably going to catch some bids. They all reported their delivery numbers, and they all came in with pretty decent ones. So Tesla, Neo, XPEV, and LI all had their delivery numbers come through. So I think that that whole sector is going to get a move today, right? Let's check out Disney and all right, you want me to look at the pen contract, JK? So like I said, if we're playing this week's, look for the open interest. So that 55 strike, I usually say, okay, well, if they're trying to, they don't want to pay this out, so there may be a rally to it. Let's just look at the 53s. They've got pretty decent delta. They're well within our risk tolerance. They're trading at negative 1.3 standard deviation, so they want to revert to the mean. They're downtrending right now, which we want to revert from. Pen's got some levels, like I said. There's Pen. Okay. 1, 2, 3 move, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like I said, Pen has to get out of its own way. Definitely an inverted head and shoulders, right? There's the neckline. Should have went long the other day, but it's going to test the 34 at 53, right? If it can get above the 34, I've got a $54 target and then a 56. Falling 50 SMA slingshot. Where's my other chart? I'm missing a chart. There it is. Let's give me a better look at it. All right, so like I said, Pen's got to get above the 50 SMA on the 4-hour. So really above 52, and we hit 54, 56. These are all pretty easy moves. It's got to get above, what is that, 51.86 or, yeah, let's just say 52. $52.20 is the line. So mid compression squeeze, green 10x bars, buys on the lower end, so it's starting to retrace. I like the 53s. I think it'll hit 55, right? So you could get those for 50 cents. Get the double up on those. So the 53s and 55s are Pen. Okay, I'll type it here. 53 call or 80%. All right. Where was I? So Affirm, Disney, Apple. Okay. All right. From an algo perspective on Affirm, we've got divergences have played out, and the algo is just trading with price action right now. What I do like is that the algo is a little bit curled up and it's made a higher low. So what we want the algo to do is to go ahead and, right, it's got a little bit of a support level there, right? If it can get out of its own way, right, and take out previous highs, right, I think it can pull price action up with it. Price action's got really clean double top right here and rising trend line support. Okay, so if this bounces, it should pull price up with it, right? I would target 107.50 on a firm. Let's look at the block trades. None in the last 5. All right, so we have a dark pool level at 108.85. That's your target. Support right where we're at, 101.51 is some dark pool. There's a dark pool level at 101.51 and below that at 99.24. So that's your support levels. Those should hold. You can rally towards 106.85. Above 106.85, 110 is a nice psychological level, or all the way back up at 113.50. As far as the firm options chain goes, consolidating, right? Squeezing, longer term slingshot squeeze getting ready to happen. MACD crossover, RSI is kind of neutral. Trading below, just barely below the 8. So this is still downtrending, right? We need to see a rally taking out previous odds, right? It can get out of its own way, basically. Above 115, I think we hit 130 pretty quickly. However, it's going to smack into this 21 EMA at 110, right? So what did I say? 110, 115. All right, options chain for a firm. Is that, yeah, 110. Everybody's trying to get those 110s. So pretty liquid, right? Pretty decent delta. Pretty decent. So if you got the 150s, I don't know, man. I'd go with those. With this, you definitely want to be closer to the money. So the 110s, I think, are pretty decent. You could even go out to 115s, right? So that 115 is about, it's the 21 or the 34 EMA, right? So above 106, there's this nice zone to trade in right here. Yeah. Pretty decent move setting up on a firm, as long as that algo does curl up and bounce up to the upside. Apple, oh, Apple. This is what's got me sketched out about the market, y'all. Right? They've been selling off an Apple since the middle of December. They've been taking profits. So Apple is at a key level right here, where if it breaks that level, there's a little gap for it to fill, right? There's a little micro gap for it to fill there. Does that cause panic? Does that cause this divergence to start pulling out or trading out? I think it's real close to trading out, right? It's got to come down a little bit more. But yeah, this is what divergence looks like. You would think Apple would just continue to diverge. Well, no, this profit taking is going to come into effect. The algo is still making lower lows and lower highs. I would keep keep an eye out for this level on Apple. Right. 178.53 is the line that I had drawn at one point. I don't know why, but it looks like it hasn't been able to get above it. It's starting to get stock positive moving averages. It's starting to set up for a pretty decent move. But like I said, there's a supply zone overhead. You've got the falling 200 SMA at 178.72, right? It hasn't been able to get above that for quite a while, right? Broke down below it. We finally got above the 50. So we do have 821.34.50 and then VWAP, but we've got an overhead 200 SMA. So I might want to look at some puts on Apple. Okay. So 8 EMA, it's holding that. If we pull back 173.84, it's a daily mid, 173.84. That would represent a move below the 21 to the 34 for support, which is also a move back down to the 21 EMA. So 173.84. Let's look at those Apple contracts. 172.50. 175. I like the Apple 172.50 puts. What did I say on a firm? $115. All right, Disney. All right, so the Algo's trying to recover, right? It was selling off, right? It found some support. It's made a higher low. All this divergence has played out. Disney finally filled its gap, right? I would say the Disney divergence has played out because it diverged at this level here, right? It diverged here, right? Prices started to trade with price action. So if the Algo can continue to move up and Disney can break its overhead resistance, right? Disney can break its overhead resistance. I think I like Disney for a move back to 156, 158. A massive amount of block trades. Yeah, in the last 5 days. So it's pulled back to dark pool support. It should bounce off of that. Use these regular block trades at 155, 156 as a upside target. If Disney gets above 156.25, I think it goes and tests 157 again. All right. It's trying to get its moving averages stack positive again. It's definitely got $188.33 is pretty much the line in the sand. So that 50 SMA on the daily, right? If it can get above 157.66, I like the move back up to 168. Or excuse me, 169. So Disney 169s. Whoa, what's up with that? What am I missing? Yeah, if Disney holds its support and the algo turns around here. I mean, oh, the delta. Look at the delta on them. With Disney, it might make sense to sell like a 150, 155 put credit spread. So you would sell the 155, you would buy the 150s, right? And you're betting that Disney closes above 155 by Friday. Should be an interesting. I'm going to set an alert. Let's do this. Oh, what happened? Okay, so it rallied up. It got stuck on the 4-hour or the daily, and it's reversing 152. Hold on, see, I knew there was something coming up with Disney. Why everything was so cheap? So it rallied, got above 21. Is this? Okay, so this is a little interesting. Last couple of days it rallied up, it hit the daily top and it pulled back. So as long as, like I said, it holds support level, it may need to come back to the daily mid at 151 first. And it's coming into cloud. Yeah, all right, so I've got my alert set for that. Let's do this. Okay, so we've got, this is why. So Disney may pull back to the 50 at 153.78. If it does, then there's a move up to 157. If it can get above 157.82, I think that it can come back up and test 160, 170. All right. But yeah, so it's got overhead resistance, some pretty nasty overhead resistance. It's got the daily and the 4-hour Keltner channel as resistance, right? It's got to try to get back through those. It's above the 50 on the 30-minute, right? So if it takes out pre-market high, 156, 157, if it rejects, right? If it rejects this level here, right? Rally, rally, rally up to 156.50 and then pull back to the 4-hour mid at 155. If it breaks below that, it's got the weekly and the weekly Keltner channel cloud and a rising 200 on the 30-minute. I mean, it's not super bearish. Okay, moving on. And then finally, SE. So SE, the algo is trading with price action. Starting to curl over a little bit, right? If it takes out its support at 260, if the algo takes out the 260, well, whatever, 258. So basically, if the algo doesn't bounce here to pull and continue to pull price action up with it, I think that we've got, a failed triple top. We do have upward trend line support. Pretty gnarly little wedge there. So if the algo doesn't bounce and continue to move up, if it actually breaks down and trades back down to some of these levels here, right? Then I think it can pull price action back down with it. Okay, that was SE. So I want to go through my stuff real quick. I need to. All right, so I'm kind of bearish on AMD until, well, it's getting really close to that divergence trading out. AMD does have an event this week. I'm going to keep an eye on the algo. NVIDIA, the same thing. NVIDIA price action is trading with the algorithm. If it does start to curl back up and make a move to the upside, I'd be targeting, 300 psychological above 300 at 315s. As far as Moderna is concerned, this is bear or bullish. The algo is still continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. The algo must get above its previous resistance, right? Must stay above this level here. And price is doing a pretty good job of staying in its uptrend, right? Pretty decent job there. Pulled back to support. Right, there we go. As far as Moderna goes, I like the 270 target. The 270s on Moderna for about anywhere under $1.50 would be good. The only thing I'm concerned about is I have to see this 50-200 bounce. The 50 to bounce, I think that'll be enough to pull price action up with it, and we can fight our way back through these moving averages. I noted everywhere else over the weekend, there's this overhead resistance, right? That's going to be pretty significant. It's got to get over that. It's got to fight its way back up through. But I think 270 is a pretty decent price target. I'm going to be looking for the 270s anywhere from about 75 cents to $1.50. Okay. And that was mRNA. And that right there was a trade provided to you from Beast Trade or Predicted Trades. Sorry, I always call them something else. All right, so here's your freebie for the week. Okay, this is sponsored by Predicted Trades. Predicted Trades. Okay. Off. That's your play. Okay. Oh, there he is. Sweet. He showed up. Ah, my man. Welcome. Predicted Trades is in the house. They authorized me. It's one sponsored trade per week. Check it. I think Moderna's got some juice in it. Check it out. If let's just put it this way. If you take that trade and you make money, you need to come get the service. Okay? I give you 10% off. I'm giving you a trade. You should be able to make some money, right? You should be able to double it. Go check out the service. If your coupon code doesn't work, email me directly or reach out to me on Twitter and I'll get you a different link. Okay? You want to look at Twitter? Bro, I can't look at Twitter. I will show you the algo on Twitter. Right? The algo is bullishly diverged. However, if the algo doesn't bounce off of this previous high right there, then I think it's going to start pulling price action down with it. Twitter's just coming up to some trendline support, and it's pulling back. I mean, I wouldn't trade this. Sorry. Red 10x bars, red and yellow 10x bars, no real squeezes to help us out. And when there's a squeeze, it's going to fire to the downside. Negatively stacked moving averages. right? It's just very bearish. If you want to look at a downside play, 4150. Yeah, 4150. Okay. All right. I want to look at my game here. Firm. Moderna. Roblox. So with Roblox, I think we're due for a little bit of a pullback, which would be good. I want to get in at like the $100 target level for Roblox, right? If we can get in at 100, I think there's a good bounce play. However, we do have this upward trend line, right? Come on, sucker. All right, so pull back to 100 would be really good for Roblox. I haven't even looked. At what it's doing pre-market. All right, so buy signals on the lower end time frames. It did pull back. So see how Roblox has got this bull flag forming on the 4-hour, and it's got the 50-day. If it can get above that 50-day, which is basically taking out the gap down, little double bottom, ready and fire signals, getting ready to fire off. Like it's bullish, right? However, it's up in the daily cloud. So what I need to see happen with Roblox is if it can maintain. Let's just do this. Pre-market high. So possibly one of these kind of moves on Roblox, right? Okay, or it just chops. There's a gap to fill there. Yeah, we might get a little bit of a flush. But if we break this 200, right, I'm pretty much out. So two things are going to happen. We're either going to bounce off this 4-hour top and move back up towards our weekly top, weekly mid, right? Or we reject that and we come back down to the 4-hour mid, right? We did have a 50-200 crossover, which is bullish. The 200 is pretty much flat. So 101.50 is support, below 101.50. Final chance at 150 before the move back down to 97. As far as options go, I want to pull back. If we pull back to 103, oh, it's going to be glorious. I'm going to murder those 105s. You know what? Don't do it. Don't run without me. It may very well do it. I want the pullback. So let it gap fade, like gap fade fill, right? 103, we target those 105s. Just super juicy looking. Like I'm super bullish on Roblox. Wow. Can I do it this way, or do I have to do... Oh, sweet. Oh, yay. So, yeah. All right. I don't have a lot of time to get into this, but this is probably going to be my new strategy going forward is I'm going to create alerts on my drawings on the options that I'm interested in, right? And then what I can do is I can send myself an email or a text message when that happens, right? I don't want to use the bell, right? Because that's used for everything else. Edit custom sounds. I'm going to throw a custom sound in there. I'm going to throw some Wu-Tang in. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's go. I'm excited now. Okay. Okay. So, if this 105 options contract, two things are going to happen. It's either going to reject the mid, it's going to come back down to here in this little area here, or it's just going to bounce and rally up to here. So I'm looking at the 105s for Roblox based on lots of things if it happens. Ooh, I can't have that happening though. All right, I got to run. I'm going to check in on the chat one more time for anything else. I have to get my stuff prepared for today. Okay. The stream will be changing a little bit. We're going to start dedicating like the last little bit to some education and to some sponsorship opportunities from Predicted Trades. They've done a great job you know me, I kind of geek out on technology. There's some things in the works that are just, they showed me over the weekend. It just blew my mind. I was like, what the, blew my mind. I didn't get screenshots of it. Unfortunately, I'll try to get some of those built today. Look for a blog post coming out, but they're doing big things and the math and the tech is just spot on. So I'm super duper impressed, and look forward to what they're going to be producing this year. Moderna pre-market is fading off. So if Moderna comes back to 248, right? 248.37 has to hold, right? That's that 4-hour mid as well, or 247.50. 247. Sweet. Getting a pullback on Moderna, right? So if it pulls back and this 200 SMA on the 15-minute holds, right, you get a pullback for a rally. What is that? 248. Right at point of control on a daily. Maybe we get a good little launch off of it. Okay. 30 minutes before the bell. This is a 15-minute chart. We may get one more. That's your support level. Let's just do this. There's your little micro demand zone. Okay. Right. If that holds, then I think we can go long. And like I said, those 270s. It's Monday. It can hit 270 by Friday. Yeah, I like it. So here's the move. Try that again. Right. And then we get this kind of a move here, or what happens is something like that. I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but if it does, right, there's your Moderna two ways. We had the 50-200 crossover. We were super bullish going into today. Yeah, so just look at that possible move, right? And I got to run. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dark Bull Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30 or 8:30, 9:30, 8:30, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. It really does help me out with the stream. I really appreciate each and every one of you showing up here every morning. I totally appreciate it. And anything I can do to improve upon the stream, please let me know. We've got a big year ahead of us. Big things are happening. We've got lots of partnerships. We've got lots of, we've got lots of solid partnerships in the works. I'm totally excited for this thing I was showing over the weekend. I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to tease you without giving you visuals. So have a great day. Stay safe, stay green. Stay tuned for the $500 challenge. There'll be more